Hello everyone, welcome back to Mass Transfer 1. So this is our final session of the first unit Principles of Mass Transfer. So we already have learned various things on this topic in the last 6 sessions. So let us now see what we are going to learn in the present session. So before we look into the topics of today's session, so let me tell you what we learned briefly in the previous session. So we took up the mass transfer coefficient topic in the previous session. We understood what is mass transfer coefficient and what are film coefficients and what are overall coefficients. What are the what kind of relationship that exists between the various film coefficients, and also how to obtain the relationship between the overall and film coefficient. So for contents of this session, I've taken up the three important topics to discuss today. So we are taking up the process of interface mass transfer as a main topic of today's session. So we also will be discussing about how equilibrium stage exists in an interface mass transfer process and how to get the relationship for an equilibrium state, and also will be discussing about the mechanism of interface mass transfer proposed by Whitman's two-film theory. So let me first define what is meant by interface mass transfer. It is a transfer of mass from the bulk of one phase to the interface between the two phases, and then from the interface to the bulk of another phase. This process is called interface mass transfer. So we all know that there are two phases in a mass transfer operation, and when the two are brought into contact, due to concentration difference, the material undergoes transfer from one phase to another. So this kind of transfer is utilized to bring about the composition in the given mixture, which in turn gives the separation of the substances or the components from a mixture or a solution. So that is what we need to achieve in a mass transfer operation. So when the two phases are brought into contact for that purpose, there is a transfer of mass from one phase to another. So the mechanism how this transfer occurs is the transfer of the substance occurs from the bulk of one phase to the interface, then from the interface to the bulk of the another phase. So that in a mechanism how how the transfer is occurring in the given phase contact is called interface mass transfer. Let us take, for example, a simple gas liquid contact operation like gas absorption. So we know what is gas absorption, an operation of mass transfer where the gas is contacted with liquid phase to separate some of the components from gas phase to liquid phase by dissolving them in the given liquid phase. The liquid phase acts as a solvent. It dissolves the required component from the gas phase, thereby separating that component or a substance from the gas phase. So there is a transfer from gas phase to liquid phase. So that transfer requires that the concentration gradient exists in the direction of transfer, that is from gas to liquid phase. So the figure shown here represents the concentration gradient that exists in the given mass transfer operation, that is between gas and liquid. So this is a graphical representation of that concentration gradient. So on y-axis, we have taken the concentration of the diffusing component A. On the x-axis, we have taken the distance in the direction of mass transfer. Left side of the plot represents the gas phase concentration. Right side of the plot represents the concentration difference that exists in liquid phase. Okay, the bulk gas phase concentrations here we have taken as PA. We are measuring the concentration in terms of partial pressure. So A represents the substance undergoing interface mass transfer. So the concentration in gas phase drops from the bulk gas phase concentration Pa to PAI at the interface. Then from the interface concentration CAI, it drops to bulk liquid phase concentration Ca in the liquid phase. So you can clearly make out here is Pa is much higher compared to Ca. So as a result of this concentration gradient, the transfer occurs from gas to liquid phase. So that process is interface mass transfer. So this is how we can represent the concentration gradient between the two phases graphically. Now let us discuss about the interface equilibrium in interface mass transfer. So whenever the interface mass transfer occurs, the transfer rate will be maximum at the initial stages, then it becomes lesser as the transfer occurs. So finally, the rate of mass transfer becomes zero when the equilibrium between the two phases is reached. So you all know what is the state of equilibrium. At equilibrium, the concentration within two phases will be uniform. So that uniformity is achieved by the process of diffusion within each phase, and at the same time the chemical potential of the diffusing component will be equal in both the phases. So when that state is reached, the transfer of component between the two phases stops. So that is the final concentration in both the phases under the given conditions. So the concentration in two phases at equilibrium are called equilibrium concentrations. So this equilibrium relationship is of basic importance in all mass transfer operations. So using which we have to perform calculations that are required to carry out the particular mass transfer operation. So now the question is how to generate this equilibrium data or equilibrium relationships, how to get the equilibrium relationships. So again let us consider a gas absorption operation of transfer of ammonia from ammonia air mixture into water to understand how to generate equilibrium data. So let us assume that a mixture of ammonia and air along with a sample of water is kept in a closed container as shown in the diagram, which can be maintained at some constant temperature and pressure. Now, as you can make out, the ammonia concentration in air is high compared to that in water. So due to that concentration difference, quickly some molecules of ammonia enter the water. At the same time, a few molecules will escape back from water to air. So here the rate at which the ammonia enters from air to water will be higher compared to the rate at which the ammonia molecules enter from water to air. That is due to concentration being high in the air compared to that in water. So as the time progresses, the rate at which ammonia enters from air to water will go on decreasing and the rate at which the ammonia molecules enter from water to air goes on increasing. So finally, a stage will be reached when the rate at which the ammonia enters from air to water will be equal to the rate at which the ammonia enters from water to air. So this is a state of equilibrium where the net rate of transfer of ammonia will be zero. So from this state onwards also there is entering of ammonia molecules from air to water and from water to air occurring, but the net rate at which this transfer occurs will be zero. So that is the state of equilibrium has reached in the given system of ammonia, air and water. Now if you measure the concentration of ammonia in water and air at this stage, so if you represent that concentration in terms of mole fractions, Ya for the gas phase, that is air ammonia mixture, and Xa for liquid phase representing the mole fraction of ammonia and water, then these two values are corresponding equilibrium values for the given system of ammonia and air and water at the given temperature and pressure. Now, for the same conditions, we can get another set of XA and YA values if we add additional ammonia molecules into air. Just imagine that we are injecting some additional ammonia molecules into air without altering the conditions. Then the equilibrium what has reached will get disturbed because the ammonia concentration in air again increases. Now the net transfer of ammonia from air to water again starts. So again the same process gets repeated. So finally the ammonia concentration in air and water becomes almost same. Then again another stage of equilibrium will be reached. Again, if you take the values of Ya and Xa at that state, that is another set of Xa and Ya values called the equilibrium values. So like this, if we go on increasing the ammonia concentration in air from time to time and recording the Xa and Ya values at the time when the equilibrium has reached, then you'll get a complete equilibrium relationship between the two phases. A set of Xa and Ya values where the Xa is in equilibrium with the corresponding Ya value will give you the equilibrium relationship for the given system of ammonia, air and water. That is how we basically get a equilibrium data experimentally for any mixture or any system of gas and liquid. Now, whatever the values that you have recorded in the form of a table, say, if they are plotted on a XY diagram, then you'll get a curve that represents the equilibrium relationships in graphical form. Now, after tabulating the Xa and Y values that obtained through experiment as discussed in the previous slide and plotting these values against each other, taking the Xa values on x-axis and Ya values on y-axis, then a curve like this, that is the type of curve as shown in the diagram, is obtained, and this is a curve called the equilibrium curve. So this represents the graphical form of the equilibrium relationship between the gas and liquid phase that is involved in the given operation. So same kind of equilibrium relationship can be obtained for all the systems, and this is used in the calculations that is to be performed for carrying out the or for designing the equipment to carry out the operation. Okay, so that is all about the interface mass transfer and the equilibrium relations. Let us now study one theory called the Wittmann's two-film theory, which was proposed to explain the mechanism of mass transfer that occurs in a interface mass transfer process. So Wittmann stated that two hypothetical films that exist on either side of the interface between the two phases are the one where the entire resistance to mass transfer exists. So this is the theory called Wittmann's two-film theory. To understand the mechanism, let us again represent the concentration gradient between the two phases in the graphical form as shown in the diagram. Here, the left side of the interface represents the gas phase concentration difference. The right side of the interface represents the liquid phase concentration gradient. So you can see that on either side of the interface, two thin films are shown where the concentration has dropped from Ya to Yai on the gas side and from Xai to Xa on the liquid side. Here the Ya and Xa are the bulk gas phase and liquid phase concentrations XAI and YAI are the interface concentrations. So XAI and YAI are the equilibrium values because we assume that there is no resistance to transfer at the interface. So since there is no resistance to mass transfer at the interface concentrations XAI and YAI are clearly equilibrium values. Okay. Now let us write down the equation for flux for the given mass transfer operation in terms of mass transfer coefficients. And let us now see how we can get a relationship between the individual and overall coefficients by utilizing the assumptions made. So for steady state mass transfer between the gas and liquid phase, the flux equation can be written like Na equals Ky into Ya minus Yai. So that is a equation for diffusion within the gas phase. That is equal to Kx into Xi minus X. That is the equation for the diffusion that is occurring within the liquid phase. The two are equal because it's a steady state mass transfer condition. Let us just rearrange this equation to get a equation in the form minus Kx by Ky equals Ya minus Yai divided by Xa minus Xai. So this equation represents a straight line equation on xy diagram having a slope minus Kx by Ky and passing through 2 points, one XA and XAI, YAI. So now if you can draw this straight line on a XY diagram along with the equilibrium diagram, so we can use the diagram to get a relationship between the individual coefficients small kx and ky and the overall coefficient capital Kx and capital Ky. Okay. So the equation that I've taken from the previous slide is Ya minus Yai divided by Xa minus Xai equals minus Kx by Ky. Now, if you take the Xa values on x-axis and Ya values on y-axis to construct the equilibrium curve, that is Yai equals a function of Xai. So this equilibrium curve is obtained by plotting the various equilibrium values of Ya and Xa. So along with this equilibrium curve, we can also construct the line PQ having the slope minus Kx by Ky as shown in the diagram. So now this line has two endpoints. One point represents XA value. Another point that lies on the equilibrium curve corresponds to the values XAI and YAI, the equilibrium values for the given interface concentrations. Now, the equilibrium concentrations XAI and YAI cannot be estimated. So, we have to write an equation in terms of overall concentration gradient to estimate the rate of mass transfer. So, in terms of the overall coefficient, capital Ky, which is based on the gas phase, we can write the equation as Na equals capital Ky into Ya minus Ya star. Here, we cannot write Ya minus Xa, the overall concentration gradient between the two phases, because the coefficient Ky is based on the gas phase. So, we need both the terms inside the bracket in terms of Y. So, for Xa, we can write Ya star, which is a corresponding equilibrium concentration in gas phase to Xa. So, Ya star is a good measure of Xa. So, we can write the equation as Na equals capital Ky into Ya minus Ya star. So, just rearrange this equation. It becomes 1 by Ky is equal to Ya minus Ya star divided by Na. Now, for the purpose of introducing the term Yai, let us expand the numerator of the right hand side by just adding and subtracting Yai. So it becomes Ya minus Yai plus Yai minus Ya star. Then Ya minus Yai can be separately written in the next equation. So it becomes Y1 by capital YA is equal to YA minus YAI divided by NA plus YAI minus YA star divided by NA. So after expanding the equation in this way, we can observe and make out that the first term on the RHS, YA minus YAI divided by NA, gives you 1 by KY from equation 1 in the previous slide. Now the other term in the right hand side has NA in the denominator. Since we already have capital KY and small ky in the equation, let us write down the equation of NA in the second term in terms of small kx. So as per the equation 1, Na is also equal to kx into xai minus xa. So let us write down that in the denominator. Now just observe the second term in the equation on the right hand side. The ratio yai minus ya star to xai minus xa. So if you read these points on the graph, the yai minus ya star divided by xai minus xa clearly shows that it represents the slope of the equilibrium line yai equals a function of xai. So let us just assume that m represents the slope of the equilibrium line. So yai minus y star divided by xai minus xa becomes m. So then the equation comes to the final form as 1 by capital Ky equals 1 by small ky plus m, that is the slope of the equilibrium line for the given system, divided by small kx. So this is the relationship between the overall coefficient ky and the individual coefficients ky and kx. So this is how you can calculate the overall coefficients using the individual coefficients. So using that, you can substitute the values in the equation. Na equals capital Ky into Ya minus Ya star. The Ya and Ya star's values are obtained from the graph. So then you can get the rate of mass transfer or the flux of mass transfer Na. So here the equation 1 by Ky equals 1 by small ky plus m by small kx represents the relationship between the overall and the individual coefficients, and also represent the resistance for mass transfer for the given operation. So 1 by capital Ky represents the overall resistance to mass transfer, and 1 by small ky on the RHS represents the gas phase resistance that exists in the thin film on the left side of the interface, and m by small kx represents the resistance offered by the thin film on the liquid phase side to the right of the interface. So this theory is also called as two film theory because it relates the resistance in the two films on the two sides of the interface to the overall resistance exists between the two phases. So that is what is the Wittmann's theory, called the Wittmann's two film theory or two resistance theory for the interface mass transfer. So with that, let me conclude the session. So with that, we have come to the end of the first unit, Principles of Mass Transfer. So in the next class or the next session, I'll be starting the second session, which is on humidification operation. Thank you for joining me.